It's back in spring 2022. I'm 22 years old. I'm in my apartment and I'm locked away in my bedroom. I'm on my computer watching something that I should not be watching. I feel dirty, disgusting. I feel like a degenerate. I'm watching self-improvement videos. But worse than that, I'm procrastinating from something important that I should be doing right now. But I'm wasting time watching video after video after video. I'm watching videos on how to quit procrastinating, and I'm literally procrastinating whilst watching them. I procrastinated for so long that the time goes 11 a.m., 12 o'clock, 1 p.m. It's literally time for the next meal of the day. So I go to the kitchen, I'm eating something, gotta get my protein in, and go back to procrastinating instead of doing the important task that I'm supposed to be doing. Eventually it gets so late that I'm actually starting to feel aggressive and anxious. So I get up from my computer, I go into the other room where my girlfriend's sleeping, and I grab my shirt, my pants, and my shoes. 15 minutes later, I'm red-faced, I'm sweating, and I'm panting. I'm doing squat in the gym. And I'm thinking to myself, why did I procrastinate this all day? I should have hit this workout at like 9 a.m., but here I am, hours and hours later. And so I'm gonna make this the best workout possible. Squats, leg press, sprints, pushing super, super hard. In the end, it ends up being a mediocre workout at best. But that's when I realized that I've never regretted being disciplined, that it's always paid off to do the hard work, especially when I didn't feel like it. My name is Hamza, and I've made this full guide on discipline that's taken me a lot of time. And I want to take you from being more of like a normal average person who isn't very disciplined, who misses a lot of workouts, who doesn't do their studying or their work on time. And sometimes you do get bursts of motivation to go to the gym or to do work, but it's so infrequent that it starts to sacrifice your life and your goals. And so I want to make that way more consistent for you. I've spent the last 1.5 weeks putting together this full guide. It's taken me over 40 hours. I've read an entire book. I've read Discipline is Destiny by Ryan Holiday, which is a really good book. And I've put it all together in one guide. So this is the one full guide that you need to be more disciplined. You can put your trust in this one guide if you follow one rule, you watch it in order. I've racked my brain to think, okay, what are the specific steps in order that you would need to know? So it's very important that you don't click around and jump around. I'm not saying that you need to watch this entire video to bump up the YouTube algorithm or anything. It's just if you're going to spend 10 minutes today, 20 minutes tomorrow watching this video, just simply watch it in order. And I promise you that by the end of this video, if you put in the work and you followed the actionable steps that I've laid out for you, you will become a disciplined young man. Here is your first actionable step of this guide. If you just close your eyes and visualize how you were like 1 year ago, you'll realize that maybe you're a bit more disciplined and consistent than you realize. Because if you picture younger you, who was far more awkward, and he was, he liked working out less, and he struggled with work and with studying a lot more than you do now. And you can just see him just awkward as fuck, like, fixing his shirt or something for no reason in a social setting. You can open your eyes. You've made more progress than you realize. Naturally, when you get onto self-improvement and the fact that you found this video, chances are you're already on a fantastic trajectory to improve your life, which is awesome. Now what we just need to do is give you a real protocol, a step-by-step guide to take that to the next level. Step 0, understanding discipline. Before we begin in making you more disciplined, we have to actually understand it. And I guarantee you don't even know what discipline actually is, because a lot of people think discipline is going to the gym. A lot of people think discipline is doing hard work. It's not. Discipline is not doing something that's hard. It's doing something that you specifically didn't feel like doing. So we need to explain 3 concepts which you're going to find really interesting, because there's motivation, there's discipline, and there's willpower. You need to know the difference between these 3, and most people don't even know this. Motivation is desire. It is craving. It is when you want to do something. Discipline is persisting. It's doing something that you aren't motivated for. It's doing the hard work, especially when you didn't feel like it. And willpower is resisting. It's not doing something even when you feel like it. So I'm motivated for the gym means I want to go to the gym. I use discipline to go to the gym means I didn't feel like going to the gym, but I went anyway. And I used my willpower not to eat the junk food meant that I was motivated to eat the junk food. I wanted to, but I specifically didn't, even though I felt like it. Because motivation is fickle, it can come and go, but discipline is here to stay because it's a character trait that we can build inside of us. In fact, I think discipline is so important that I end every single one of my videos with a catchphrase: do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. That phrase, do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it, perfectly encapsulates discipline. It's only discipline if you didn't feel like it. And this is why, as a man, it's so easy to win. 99% of men are just chasing instant gratification because it's so easy to fall down. They want the fast results in their business, so they're not willing to wait or to sacrifice or to set up for something for the long term. They want to watch porn right now because they feel a sense of loneliness or, a sense of being deprived of intimacy, which they won't go and solve long term through improving themselves and learning how to navigate a relationship with a woman. So they'll just go and get that online right now. They want a sense of status and brotherhood, but they'll get that in video games right now because it's instant. So 99% of men are doing that. If you can become the 1% of man, and this isn't even me saying that you need to become so amazing or anything. Literally just do the fundamentals of not doing the ultimate degenerate habits, and you're already in the top few percentile of men. And getting into the top 1% of men will not come from any kind of monumental act. If you're starting to feel proper motivated right now and you've started to visualize this proper hard grunting workout and you're gonna make this fancy business, it's not about that. Beating your competition isn't about some big act that you've done. It's just about showing up every day and literally just setting the intention to try and do it a little bit better. It's the guy who stayed on the basketball court for an extra 5 minutes when everyone else went home. He's the one who becomes the world champion afterwards. There's two books which are very similar, which I recommend you to read. There is The Compound Effect and The Slight Edge. These two books are really good. They talk about using discipline to change something quite small and insignificant, like a small decision, like a 1% better decision, which then makes a huge difference over a few years. I bet you'll agree with this. It's also harder to be lazy than it is disciplined. Yes, it's harder to be lazy than it is to be disciplined. To be disciplined means that we have to go hit a workout today. It means that we can't watch porn today. Oh wow, it's kind of difficult, fair enough. But to be lazy, to be undisciplined is harder, because that means that then you have to deal with the demons in your mind every single day, knowing that you're not living to your potential, dealing with the negative thoughts, going to sleep and you're overthinking, you randomly get a memory of some weird, awkward thing that you did 6 years ago. You feel like crap, everyone treats you with disrespect because you don't deserve the respect. Genuinely imagine the kind of lives that the other people live where they don't even consider something like improving their discipline, and so they just go to one easy source of dopamine to the next, to the next, to the next. They're sacrificing their future selves' happiness for today's pleasure, and then they're wondering 3 months, 6 months, 12 months down the line why they're fat and depressed. It's because they did it. It's because we did this at some point. I'm glad that we're on this pathway where we've stopped sacrificing ourselves and instead we're making life better for our future self. Discipline is a treat for your future self. Discipline is the ultimate act of self-love, because you're saying, you know what? Here is some modern technology, porn, video games. It's been made by a company who don't give a fuck about me. If I killed myself today, this porn company wouldn't give a fuck. They'd only care because, one users went inactive. They've ruined my life. They gave me depression. I've got fucking ED, so my dick doesn't even get hard. How is this nice for me? But if I quit watching porn today, my future self is going to be recovering slowly and slowly and slowly. 3 days in and he feels, he's got a bit more lust, a bit more male aggression inside of him. Testosterone levels are rising. 2 months without porn and you start to feel very healthy towards women and you can actually speak to them. A year without porn and you stop getting those flashes of dirty thoughts, of dirty images and videos that you remember. The ultimate act of self-love is discipline. In the long run, it's much more painful to be undisciplined. And there's a quote that I like: nobody who has given themselves over to excess is having a good time. Here is an actionable step I want you to do, and it's kind of mean. I want you to go onto YouTube right now, maybe open up a new tab, and I want you to search for this name, Nick Ocado, Nikocado. Nick Ocado, go find his YouTube channel. He is a morbidly obese man who made a YouTube channel of him eating a lot of food, and it gets a lot of views, and he's become obese. This man deserves to die early. Now I know that a lot of people watching this will just get panicked and think, wait, he said something that's really bad. We've been told never to speak like that. This isn't my opinion. This isn't my viewpoint. I don't want him to die, but he deserves to. He deserves to feel this obliterating pain in his heart until he ceases to exist, this chokeness in his throat. He deserves to feel it. I know this sounds horrible, but there's something that you must understand right here, right now, if you want to live a good life. You deserve the consequences of your action. This is worth for you to really meditate on, to write down right now, to stick it up on your wall, to write it and set it as your phone wallpaper. I deserve the consequences of my action. So why don't you just make it so that you deserve what you want? Some people deserve to be obese, sick, and close to death, whilst others deserve to have a six-pack, to have high testosterone, to have a wonderful relationship. Others deserve to make a lot of money. Others deserve to be depressed and suicidal, because it all comes down to the acts that we're willing to partake in. And so if you're willing to, for example, this young man is eat and eat and eat and eat. You deserve the consequences of that. Now, of course, some shallow breather might be watching this and think, oh, well, so do you deserve to be hit by a bus? Barring extreme circumstances, let's use our brains here. Extreme circumstances, extreme accidents are different. If you've done everything right, you're just walking on the pathway and a car, there's a freak accident and like a brick gets thrown up into the air or a car swerves into you even though you were on the pathway, that's a bit different. Likewise, if you're just like, just minding your own business in a shop and someone just hits you out of nowhere, that's different. But if you're overeating your calories every single day, you deserve to be fat. And if you deserve to be fat, then you deserve to be sick. And if you deserve to be sick, then you deserve to have a higher risk of mortality. This is the consequences of a lack of discipline. And so I think for you, it is very worthwhile for you to just take a few seconds right now and think about what you want to deserve. Not what you want. Remember, nobody gives a fuck what you want, but what you want to deserve. I want to deserve a six-pack. How could I deserve a six-pack? I'll train abs 3 or 5 times a week and I'll go on a calorie deficit and I'll do cardio. I want to deserve a good, healthy relationship with a beautiful woman. How would I deserve that? First of all, I'll deal with some kind of problems that I've got internally. I'll learn how to actually speak to people and effectively communicate. I'll learn how to actually be first of all, a good partner. I'll learn what that kind of woman, this high quality woman, would be attracted in a guy. I'll develop those things myself, and then I'll also try and put my best front when it comes to dating. I'll stop watching degenerate red pill content and I'll start embracing more faith and spirituality. And then when I do meet the woman, I'll treat her right, very, very kindly, very lovingly, and I'll make it so that she is super happy with me. Doesn't sound so cool now, does it? Almost sounds like a bit stupid and autistic, but this is what you want out of life. This is how you get it. Just make it so that you deserve that thing. Take a second right now as an actionable step to just think of what you want to deserve in life, and your brain will already start to work on, okay, well, here's how we do it. What I will say is that the greatest reward of being disciplined is not the physique or the money or the girl in your arms, but it is the man that you become. I feel good being me. And I know that there's quite a lot of guys watching this who it won't really click in their mind. So I just want to kind of explain this. Just imagine this, like imagine genuinely waking up every day and being happy that you are you. Because for a long time in my life, I couldn't have said this. I wanted to be that other guy. I wanted to be that guy with the real world results. I wanted to be the guy with the six-pack. I wanted to be the guy who, had the likes on Instagram. I would not change myself for anyone. It's like your own internal perception. You start to like yourself. You start to respect yourself. My brain is producing more and more positive thoughts about myself than ever. Think about that. My own mind is actually starting automatically to like say nice things about me through the day. When your brain wanders, when you're trying to read and it thinks about something else or it thinks about memories and stuff, my brain mostly now is going to positive stuff. Certainly in a student light. So, it's not like I'm just egotistical thinking that I'm amazing, but it's more that I've got like a sense of bliss thinking like, yeah, well done. Yeah, awesome progress. I've been working super hard. I'm not thinking, yeah, I'm better than everyone else and, like, oh, I'm so amazing. I don't need to learn anymore. It's the exact opposite. I really do think, okay, I want to learn more. What can I learn? How can I improve? So I've still got a student mindset, but it's just very positive and pleasant. I think that's the best reward of discipline so far.